Rockle.
Hi everyone, Possum here today. Wanted to discuss with you a little bit about what the Democrats are planning in terms of the upcoming presidential election and how they're trying to subvert this election. Basically, you've heard a lot about the Democrats and the COVID situation. They would basically prefer for the entire United States to vote for president by mail-in ballot. Now, there's a rhyme or reason to this. It's not COVID, okay? Don't mistake for 1 second that COVID is the reason. It's not even close to the reason these people are desiring mail-in balloting from the United States of America. And if they can't get it for the entire United States, they have an alternate plan that will work just as well for them. And I'll explain it here in just a moment. So, ultimately, what they're attempting to do is to have a 12th Amendment constitutional crisis, which would invoke a contingency election by the U.S. House of Representatives to elect the President of the United States. Let me tell you how this works. So, let's just say that the Democrats do get their way here, and the United States of America votes by mail for president this year. We don't go down to the voting booth. We vote by mail. So, and we know how great the post office is. Now, I'm not complaining about the post office per se, but things get lost. Things get delayed. They inevitably do, okay? And it's nothing that the post office can't handle volume-wise, but it's just a matter of sometimes the machine will cut an envelope in half. We've all had it happen, okay? Or a box of mail will sit there on the mailroom floor for 2 weeks and it not get moved. And even though you're waiting for your paycheck to show up in the mail, or that rent check that your renter has supposedly sent to you, it's actually sitting in the post office in some back room. So it happens. So the Democrats are basically counting on any ineptitude by the post office to circumvent the voting process by the people. Democrats do not want the people to vote for president. To them, that's basically unacceptable. For them, they'd rather have 5 or 6 Democrats at most vote for who's going to be president. Okay? Basically like a Politburo or the Chinese Communist Party. Okay? Except in this case, it would be the Democratic National Committee or whatever the case may be. So you'll find that they want mail-in voting to happen because they know that chaos will eventually ensue. And that's their goal, is to create chaos. They desire for there to be another year 2000 Florida hanging Chad debacle. That's exactly what they want. Okay? Except they want it to be multiplied by not just Florida having a problem in 2000, they want it for every one of the 50 states. You get where I'm coming from here? They want every single state to have had a problem voting. Now, obviously that's not going to be the case in every single state, but let's just say, for argument's sake, that California, New York, and Illinois all have, like I mentioned before, just total debacles on their voting. And now I'm going to make some numbers up here. I don't know the actual numbers. I haven't taken the time to look them up. But let's just say that there's 10 million people in California that would vote in November for the president. 10 million people mail in their votes, and 3 million of those votes are lost in the mail. That's probably an exaggeration, but let's just make it 1 million. Million's reasonable. 1 million of the votes have not come in. We're sitting here December 1st, 1 million votes haven't come in. 500,000 haven't come in. December 31st, New York, 750,000 votes still outstanding. Illinois, January 15th, 1.5 million votes not counted. Now, the Democrats have successfully used this argument before, that being that, oh, we cannot disenfranchise the voter. All votes must be counted. Well, they can't be counted. You know why they can't be counted? Because the votes are sitting on the floor at some postal office being hidden by a postal employee who knows his district has voted for Donald Trump. Okay? Now, we already know that the U.S. Postal Service union has backed Joe Biden. They did that a couple of days ago. This is late to mid-August here. They did that a couple of days ago. We know that they have backed Joe Biden. Saw a little meme today. Do you really want your votes being handled by a postal service that its employees' union has backed Joe Biden? Now, how fair is that? It's a good point. So, we have all these states. We're looking at January 15th. Once again, making up some dates. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5 million votes in the United States. Other states as well, beyond the example given, New York, Illinois, and California. We're looking at millions of votes potentially uncounted. And exactly why? Because we have a Democrat apparatus, a union, purposefully obscuring the vote on behalf of the Democrats. And do you think those votes will ever show up? Oh, no. They'll never show up. Or they will trickle in so slowly that it could be 4 more years down the road and the vote's still not determined. Okay? Now, we've got total chaos. We're somewhere in January. We still don't have a definitive answer as to who our president is. So, of course, at this point in time, January 20th is coming up really fast. And we know who gets involved in the lawyers. And it quickly makes its way up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court takes a little look at the Constitution, and it sees the 12th Amendment sitting there. And the 12th Amendment says, if we can't get a clear vote, 270 electoral college votes cannot be determined, then for a particular candidate, 270 for a particular candidate, then it has to go, the vote has to go to the U.S. House of Representatives, and the U.S. House of Representatives votes for and elects from the top 3 vote getters in the presidential election. From those 3 top vote getters, the U.S. House of Representatives votes and elects the president. So, Nancy Pelosi and her minions are counting on holding the House this November. Okay? By the way, it would be the new House members, not the old House members. So the new House members would vote to elect the president. So they're counting on holding the House, and us having a Democrat House. So it's quite obvious what they're attempting to do here. Very obvious. Now, you don't need for the entire United States to vote by mail. In fact, you just need one state to do it predominantly. Let's just say California. Once again, picking a state, a very liberal state as an example, one that would go along with the Democrats' plan and enable the plan. California votes by mail, and the votes don't get counted. Now, California has a lot of electoral college votes, and they can't be awarded. And let's just say Trump doesn't get the 270 that he needs. Now, he's not going to get California's, 55 or whatever it is, electoral college votes, but let's just say that he doesn't get the 270. And California's sitting there with this big chunk of electoral votes not cast because they can't figure out who California voted for. Right back to Florida 2000 and hanging chads. We must count every single vote. We cannot disenfranchise the voters. You see where they're going here? This is This is planned action, okay? It is being set up. They are lining up all the pieces, all the little chess pieces, and trying to triangulate in on Trump. Right now, they're putting their little queen over here. They got the rook here. They got the bishop over here, okay? And they're lining up all their little pawns so that come election day, nothing can be determined by the people. And that means, as I mentioned, contingent vote by U.S. House of Representatives. Based on one state. It's only necessary for one state must not have 10 million voters from California be disenfranchised. Oh, absolutely not, in their words. So, I think you understand where I'm coming from here. We have to be on guard against this. President Trump needs to get in there, make sure that one, voting by mail is not enacted in the United States. Two, he needs to make sure that any mail voting that does happen, such as absentee balloting and all those things, that it runs smoothly as it always has. That there's no shenanigans going on. So Trump needs to be on top of the Postal Service right now, because that's their vehicle for subverting this election. It's very plain to see. So, have you tried the Grockle Roku channel yet? If you want to see great videos of other contributors, conservative contributors, they're putting great stuff out every day, go into your Roku streaming box, go to your channel search for Grockle, G-R-O-K-A-L-L, press the add to your list of channels on your Roku, and then go in and enjoy your free content. There's no sign up. You don't have to give any email, nothing along the lines. And if you like, there's a little http://grkam/ and then there will be a 3 or 4 letter code after that. You can type that into your web browser. You can go straight to a discussion of that particular video, and you can chime in on what you think about what that conservative commentator has said about his particular subject that day. You can talk about this video if you like. So get on the Roku channel, Grockle Roku channel. Come on over to our website. If you like, you can watch our videos, all these videos on the Grockle iPhone app or on the Grockle Android app. They're both in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. Take a look. I think you'll enjoy it, provided it's straight for you. Anyway, thank you for your time. Consider what I just said in this video. I think I'm right. Have a good day. God bless.